welcome to Video Rental, your retro movie hub. Join us as we rewind through the iconic films of the 70s, 80s, and occasional 90s gems. From cult classics to blockbuster hits and even some infamous flops, we're covering it all. So grab some popcorn, get cozy, and let's dive into the wonderful world of retro cinema together. Dougie, how we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Doug?
I'm wonderful.
Good. All right, so on today's episode, we're going to be covering the movie Airplane, or with the airplane, because they always have an exclamation point on the end of it.
That's exciting.
From 1980. Doug, let's start with you. When was the first time you saw Airplane?
Ooh. Definitely the first time I saw it was on probably a late night TV. So our first one was a TV edit. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't get to see all the good stuff right away.
Yeah.
Getting to the point where you don't even have to ask anymore. Just every time you ask when's the first time you seen it? Oh, late night TV back when, TV
They actually showed movies
because I'm
on
that
TV?
old.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Dougie, you need to understand. We lived before the internet.
We didn't get to watch it on YouTube.
So where we saw everything was either in the theaters or on TV.
Two choices.
We didn't have YouTube back then. Thanks, Doug.
You're welcome.
Dougie, when was the first time you saw it?
No surprise here. Last night.
All right. All right. Talking about no surprises. Probably the first time I saw it was probably back in the 90s. I mean, I feel like that's where I've seen most old movies, always back in the 90s. I definitely saw it on TV first. So it was kind of shocking, certain scenes to see them when I first saw them on, DVD or VHS or whatever.
You don't like Jell-O?
No, I love Jell-O,
okay.
but no, I'm just saying it was shocking because I didn't expect them.
Oh.
But all right, so I'm gonna read the plot. After the crew becomes sick with food poisoning, a neurotic ex-fighter pilot must safely land a commercial airplane full of passengers. And see, just from that plot, you would never think this movie was funny at all.
That's true. That's pretty dull.
Well, I mean, you know what this movie is copying, right? Like it was an old. Doug, you might know the movie. I honestly can't think of the name of the movie, but it was copying another movie where a plane was about to crash and they needed somebody to fly it or whatever. So it was it was copying a serious movie. Like I think it was from like the 70s or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so I'm going to read some vitals of the movie. So the movie came out July 2nd, 1980. How old were you, Doug?
5.
I was not born yet. Dougie,
So that
we
was
know.
the 4th of July weekend.
I was negative 26 years old.
That was probably a good time to put out a movie, I
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah, that was a big weekend.
Yeah. So it's got a IMDb score of a 7.7,
Respectable.
which is good. Tomato meter, the critic score 97%.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty high up there. It's got an audience score of 89%. Pretty close, but yeah. So the budget was $3.5 million to make this movie.
That's a lot in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, that's a good amount.
Yeah.
And we're not
definitely.
talking about late 80s. That was late
Like
70s.
First 80.
Yeah, I mean, you could say this movie. Well, I mean, you gotta think this movie was probably made in 1979. So yeah, $3 million is a lot back then.
They probably blew it on that first scene.
Probably. It's got a box office of $83 million, or it did a box office of $83 million.
So it did okay.
Yeah, it did great. That's why they made a sequel. And the sequel's called The Sequel, right?
Yeah.
Airplane,
Yeah.
The Sequel.
The sequel.
Airplane 2, I
And
think
it's
it is.
tied
And the
knot.
airplane is tied in 2 knots.
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
1.
It's got a runtime of 1 hour and 28 minutes.
88, magic number.
Yep. It's got a rating of PG. So you got to remember, this was before PG-13. So Pretty sure this movie would have
This thing would have got called an R for sure.
probably. If it wouldn't have got a PG-13, it definitely would have got an R.
Couple suggestive themes.
A few, just a few.
A few. That's the key. Suggested.
So I'm gonna read the tagline. It's something new that I'm.
You
adding.
don't catch all the suggested stuff when you was a kid watching.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, yeah.
So Doug, I was telling you about this. I added the tagline, so we're
Yeah.
gonna, of the poster and stuff. You've read the ad. Now see the movie. The in-flight comedy that airlines won't show you.
I mean, I'd get on that flight. Just wouldn't eat the fish.
No fish. All right. So the
steak though.
the cast is now. Doug, I recognize most of these actors. Dougie, you're not going to recognize any of them, I don't think.
Yeah, thanks for telling everybody.
Well, I'm just telling you. Robert Hayes, he was in Airplane 2.
I think I know that guy.
Dougie, we need to calm down here. Airplane 2, the sequel. He was in Iron Man. He was in Iron Man, the '94 cartoon. He did the Iron Man voice in the '90s cartoons. Homeward Bound 1 and 2. I don't know if you guys remember. Well, Doug, if you remember the movie Homeward Bound about the dogs that get lost, the dog and the cat.
Yeah, I remember that.
Robert Hayes is the main guy, the pilot.
Right.
Okay. Julie Haggerty, she was in Airplane 2, and this was actually her first movie.
She was on SNL back then, wasn't she? Wasn't she on SNL?
Is that the stewardess?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this was her first movie, like first role ever.
Oh.
She was in Airplane 2, and she was the mom in What About Bob. She did a bunch of TV and stuff.
Oh, well, yeah.
She's got a familiar face, but I don't think I've seen her in anything besides this.
Yeah. The great and powerful and wonderful Leslie Nielsen. Dougie, tell me you've seen some movies of Leslie Nielsen's, right?
Name some off.
Okay. Creepshow, Police Squad,
Nope.
the Naked Gun movies, 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, I've watched all of those.
Okay. Dracula, Dead and Loving It.
No.
It was a Mel Brooks spoof off of Dracula.
That'd be a great movie to do on this. The Naked Gun. Why have we not done that yet?
Thank you.
I gotta help you.
It's coming,
I see the
Dougie.
wheels turning in there.
I don't know how you deal with this every day.
I ain't saying a word.
No, I don't know how you deal with this every day.
He made me the way I am.
Now, Doug, you might have to help me with his name. Kareem
Abdul-Jabbar?
Yes, thank you. Dougie, do you know who that is at all?
No.
Okay, so he played 20 seasons in the NBA. He was a 6-time MVP, a 19-time All-Star, 15-time NBA selection, 11-time NBA All-Defense team member.
He was like a Michael Jordan.
Oh, so the little
Michael Jordan.
the little boy wasn't lying.
No, it really was.
Oh yeah, that was yeah. He
Yeah,
was really
yeah.
But he also actually has 62 acting credits as well. He's either played himself or he's got 62 acting credits.
Didn't notice like after he passed out, they were taking him out of the seat, but he had his Lakers uniform on.
Yeah.
His jock strap was hanging out and everything.
I didn't catch that.
You
no.
didn't catch that?
No,
Oh,
I
it's
must have looked
so
at my
funny.
phone or something.
He's like,
He even had his goggles on too.
my name's Roger. And he tells that little kid, my dad said you suck.
He grabs the kid. Okay. We'll get into it. Okay. So it also has Lloyd Bridges.
Picked a heck of a day to quit drinking.
And you know that's the dad of Jeff Bridges, right? Yeah.
He has the same last name. Who knew?
He's known for Airplane 2, the sequel, Hot Shots 1 and 2, and he's got over 217 acting credits to his name. Peter Graves, he was in he's known for Mission Impossible, Airplane 2, the sequel. He's the pilot.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a grown man naked? Have you ever been in a Turkish bath?
Also, last name of Robert Stack. He's known for 1941, the Transformers the movie,
Just go ahead and say what he's really famous for.
Beavis and Butthead Do America, and Unsolved Mysteries.
That you didn't have to be looking at the TV and hear his voice, and you knew who it was. Like, whoa, made the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
I loved Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was just like,
It's a good show.
oh, it was so good.
You watched it?
A little bit, yeah, actually.
The old one, or the one with William Shatner?
William Shatner.
Don't count.
There was another actor that did Unsolved Mysteries between the two. It was after Robert Stack. He's another actor, and I can't think of who did it because I watched some of his stuff too. It was still good, but he was after.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can kind of see him, but I can't remember his name.
So you know who he was in Transformers the movie, right?
I'm thinking.
The 86.
Yeah.
He was Ultra Magnus.
Oh.
This is another thing he has failed on. I've not seen the original Transformers movies.
We're
going to do it.
We'll do it.
No.
We're going to do it. Anything I haven't showed you at this point, just because we're going to wait till we do it on here.
Yeah. Okay. So screenplay by Jim Abrams, David Zucker, and Jerry Zucker. These guys, they created all of this stuff. I'll go ahead and tell you, they wrote, produced, and directed this movie. They created every bit of this stuff.
They do the second one too?
Yeah. No, actually they didn't. Because they thought this was a one and done thing. They're like, we don't need to do another sequel, so somebody else did
Well,
this.
good on them. They wasn't going out for just a money grab.
Yeah. So yeah, produced by the Zucker guys and Abram. Music by, Doug, you'll know this guy's name. Elmer Bernstein. He's got a long list. The Magnificent Seven, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Great Escape, National Lampoon's Animal House, Meatballs, Stripes, Heavy Metal, An American Werewolf in London, Airplane 2, the sequel, Trading Places, Michael Jackson's Thriller, Ghostbusters, Three Amigos, Cape Fear, The Good Son, The Rainmaker, and Wild Wild West.
The dude was the guy to have in the 80s.
Yeah, literally his stuff spanned from the 60s all the way up to the 90s.
Lampoons was mentioned in there. I heard that.
Yep.
Yeah, the moose should have told you.
All right, so the filming location was LAX and other Los Angeles neighborhoods. Production company was Paramount Pictures. That's another little new thing that I added.
Little tittle.
And then, of course, directed by Jim Abrams and David and Jerry Zucker.
Was he in relation to J.J. Abrams? Is that like a family member? Is his son?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. All right, so I'm going to read some trivia.
All right.
Jim Abrams, David Zucker, and Jerry Zucker chose actors such as Robert Stack, Lloyd Bridges, Peter Graves, and Leslie Nielsen because of their reputation for playing no-nonsense characters. Until this movie, these actors had not done comedy. So this was literally their first comedy movie. They had not done comedy, so their straight arrow persona and line delivery made the satire in the movie all more poignant and funnier. Bridges was initially reluctant to take his role in the movie, but his sons persuaded him to do so. Well, see, and I think that's what made Leslie Nielsen such a household name, is because he did nothing but serious stuff all the way from the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah, and then he just flipped a switch. He decided he liked comedy.
Yeah. When he always
Surely you can't be serious.
and if you notice, he mostly plays serious stuff, but in comedy movies. So he always what they call it deadpan
Yeah.
or straight man.
That's a nice beaver.
Yeah. Let's see. The Jaws 1975 spoof in the movie's beginning was made of layers of cotton on a piece of plywood with a hidden wire track for the airplane to fly around.
That was pretty funny the way they done that.
Yeah.
It's very, very clearly, you can tell that it's just cotton balls. It's just glued to a little tack board.
The directors were friends with David Letterman and asked him, first of all, Dougie, do you know who David Letterman is?
I'm not going to answer that.
So that's a no.
You know.
He was a late night talk show host for the Tonight Show. And
If I see his face, I could probably tell you.
You know, like Jay Leno. Leno took his spot.
Yeah, Jay Leno was his rivalry because he went to CBS. But he's a legend in the late night talk show from the. I mean,
I've seen this guy before.
Yeah, 70s on up to the 2000s.
There's late. I mean, there ain't no such thing as late night
Not really,
anymore.
no. So with David Letterman asked him to audition for the role of Ted Stryker. So instead of Robert Stack, they wanted to get David Letterman. But David,
like Robert Stack.
yeah, no, well, that's the problem is David Letterman is not an actor. He's probably been in a few things, but he's not an actor. While they liked his reading, Letterman was visibly uncomfortable at the idea of formally acting and was openly relieved when they didn't offer him the role. In fact, David Zucker said to Letterman's manager that they thought Letterman could win the role. They planned to have him return for another audition, but was surprised when the manager said that there was no chance that would happen. His audition was shown on his talk show, much to his embarrassment.
It wouldn't have been the same anyways, because if he was a late night talk host, I don't think he would have been as serious. And I think that's what keeps it so funny. That's why every time he's talking to somebody, they're all like trying to kill themselves.
Yeah.
It's just better the way it turned out.
Yeah, definitely. Doug, do you want to read us? That's all I got for trivia.
Okay,
Do you want to read us some reviews?
Let me read some reviews here.
Tell people what they think about this movie.
Small snidbit of information here. Okay, let's start it out with a bad one. 1 out of 10. This is not a PG movie. Well, that's because, they didn't have heavier ratings back in. More like an R.
Lintz CT. That's their username.
From 2000. If you're looking for a good movie for your family with children, this is not recommended. It is rated as PG, and I got one for our Friday family movie night. It was terrible. The dirty language, violence, nudity, implicity, erotic made it unsuitable for any family.
Well, clearly they don't know how the rating system works back then.
Well, and I bet you anything if it did say PG, it probably didn't actually say why it was only PG.
Probably.
It probably just didn't say that kind of stuff back then.
Yeah. They left a lot of details out. They wanted you to... I mean, like a lot of people got surprised by the Jell-O. Nobody knew it was coming. Boom. Okay.
I think that's hilarious that they just were shocked by that. Like that's so funny.
And in 2002, that's what's wild about it. They're shocked about that.
And they definitely could have looked that up then in 2000.
Yeah. Nowadays, this is like a G-rated movie. All right, this next one. 10 out of 10. The humor keeps ticking and ticking. Chadwick, 86955. November 26, 2024. Every time I watch this movie, I pick up more jokes. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Mm-hmm. This is not a right movie for folks that don't want to pay attention to the movie. That includes the words and their double entendre. The background and foreground, many jokes are hidden within the same scene. I can understand some of the jokes that may not be funny to some people, such as ever seeing a grown man naked, or the scene with the automatic pilot and smoking afterward.
Yep.
The horse in the bed. I thought the scenes were hysterical. Writing and acting in this movie was superb. Barbara Billingsley, Beaver's mom on Leave It to Beaver talking jive was awesome. Now, the fact that they got her to do that's what just made it so funny. Yeah. If folks like the movie again, you will see more of the jokes. While I was a passenger on an airline, this movie was offered as an in-flight entertainment. Hysterical. This is an airline with a sense of humor.
What? Read that again about what year it is.
2024.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That somebody in 2024 gave us a 10 out of 10.
Somebody's not that
Yeah,
sensitive.
but to me, that is an accurate rating of this movie. A review, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is 2023. 4 out of 10. Not a fan of that type of humor. Safe reviews.
Doug, let me say this. So when I was finding the reviews, it was hard trying to find reviews for old reviews. Most of them were like newer stuff, like
Recent,
literally the last, 10 or 15 years. So it was kind of, most of them are literally, they're all newer, I should say. Go ahead.
I'm reading. I can see where this guy's going. I kind of regret watching this movie, even though it was quite a short movie, because I didn't enjoy it much. 5 minutes in, I knew it wasn't my type of movie because I found most of the humor too cheesy and cringe for my liking. There were certain parts of the movie which I liked and thought was funny, like the scenes involving the black guy speaking jive, which felt relatable even today, because black people have mannerisms in which most white people might not understand. I feel like if this type of movie was made today, it would be well received and not make much money as it did back when such shows and times have changed. 5 minutes in, what was he talking about? The no stopping in the white. And next thing you know, they're arguing about babies.
Yeah, I guess it was.
You know what you're trying to say, Linda?
I guess it was the whole Jaws homage at the beginning, but then the
no stopping in the white zone.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what that was. Yeah,
stupid. And if you grew up in that time, they would say that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What does he say? It's like I can't. I'm trying to find the quote online, but I can't find it. He's like, "Let me get a peanut butter with a," or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
On the way side.
It was something with peanut butter in there. Yeah.
What the best part of it was her face. Like she was like,
"Yeah, you're getting the fish."
Yeah, she's like kind of turned away from him. She's like, I have no idea what you just said.
fish.
Okay, this next one here. 8 out of 10. This movie is hysterical. Ryan Harris, 04940, December 12th, 2024. This has become one of my favorite comedies ever. It definitely checks all my boxes for things I find funny. It is filmed to the, it's supposed to say brim, but they wrote broom, with irreverency. I love the little shout-outs, jokes that are hysterical and always scratch that itch. So many modern comedies, I feel, suck the life out of things aimed to the lowest common denominator. Sometimes I find incredibly unfunny, but this movie is so silly and so ridiculous that you keep coming back. It shows you that everybody that I'm friends with are the jokes dated. Yeah, they pretty much are, but honestly, I love the references and myself pretty...
Ongit?
I don't know what you're trying to say. We'll just skip that.
Yeah.
If you like something kind of stupid to watch, give us a shot. There you go. All right, we're going to finish out with Mr. Ebert here. Let's see what he has to say. Airplane
There you go.
is a comedy film that pays homage to and satires very movie cliches, particularly from the Airport series and 0 Hour.
Yeah, Zero.
Is that the movie?
Yeah, I think that was the movie I was thinking of.
The movie's humor is sophomorphic, predictable, and corny, but often funny. It borrows from other films, including Saturday Night Fever and Jaws, and features parodies of serious movie scenes while not great comic artistry. Airplane is entertaining and hilarious due to its willingness to borrow and rewrite from anywhere. 3 out of 4 stars. That's big praise from Mr. Ebert.
It's definitely all of these movies, especially these like cheesy comedies that were aired on the TV back then, you definitely have to have a certain taste for that kind of comedy.
Well, and this was the first. This was the first to do all this stuff.
Well, they did it. They made fun of everybody, and everybody just thought it was funny.
Yeah. Well, and it's like the Mel Brooks movies. He makes fun of everybody.
Yeah.
And that's why all these people nowadays don't have like as good of a taste.
Zero sense of humor.
Yeah.
They're so serious about everything.
Yeah.
It always shocks me, going back to Roger Ebert just for a second, it always shocks me, his reviews sometimes, because sometimes I think he's just going to tear the movie apart.
Yeah, I would think he wouldn't have liked this movie.
And, yeah, he surprises me sometimes. All right, thanks, Doug. All right, let's go to our scene by scene.
All right.
So scene 1. The film begins at LAX, showcasing its chaotic atmosphere. We meet Elaine, a stewardess, and Ted, an ex-military fighter pilot, and a new cab driver determined to convince Elaine that they're meant to be together. Captain Clarence Over informs them of a heart transplant patient aboard. Before boarding, Ted relives military flashbacks, and once aboard, he relives their first meeting.
Yeah, they're meant to be together with her and her hairy mud armpits as she lays on the beach.
You picked up the hairy armpits.
She had hairy armpits? I didn't even catch that.
I didn't, yeah. Got covered with...
The entire shot is this.
Well, I didn't catch any hairy armpits. I guess, okay. We know what Dougie's into.
He likes some old natural there.
I didn't catch that at all. You never know. It could have just been like seaweed and stuff like that after it splashed on him.
Well, the funniest part, it started with the whole argument of the two people saying red zone, white zone thing.
Yeah.
And then he bounces the cab up on the curb, and a guy gets in for a fare. And he's like, I'll be right back. And he reaches and turns the meter on. And like halfway through the movie, they look back. The dude's still sitting in his cab.
They keep on going back to it.
He's looking at his watch.
Well, so the two people that were arguing over the speaker.
Yeah.
In real life, they were husband and wife.
Oh, you could tell. You could hear it.
So I love how the whole Captain Over, they keep on going back to that joke.
Dude.
Over and over again in this movie.
Did you catch it when he was at the newsstand looking at the different magazines?
Yes.
Did you see the names on the front of the...
Oh, God, those were so dumb.
And like one of them said, was it Spank Material? Yeah. Where he was looking. And he was like, pick up the Captain Over white courtesy phone, which if
he picks up the red one.
He picks up the red one. The white one. No, the white one. And they say it again while he's on the phone. He yells up, I got it. Thank you.
It was a phone call from the Mayo Clinic.
Yeah.
And then if you notice all the mayonnaise behind the doctor.
What was he? He got another phone call.
He says, hold
the mayo.
Hold the mayo and...
something about ham.
Give me ham on 5. Or
yeah.
Hold the mayo, give me ham on 2.
Yeah.
Hold the mayo, give me ham on 2, yeah. Just
mayo is a reoccurring theme.
Just the little stupid jokes. I mean,
they're all in it.
There's so many just in this first scene.
What about when the dudes are directing the plane, with the lights?
Yeah.
And the guy's like randomly, hey, dude, where's that forklift? He's like, oh, it's over there.
Well, and I was reading that that whole scene of the plane crashing into the airport.
That's where the money went.
Well, apparently that really happened.
Oh, really?
The writers actually heard a story of that actually from a pilot that actually happening. It crashing into an airport like that.
And what about where our the protagonist of the movie, he goes up and buys a ticket, and you heard smoking or non-smoking,
and he gives
him the ticket that's smoking. Yeah.
Yeah, did you catch when they get on the plane and they're actually boarding, and then you see like the rows? There's certain sections, and one of them is no smoking, and the other one is like it's basically like a sign that's like no sex.
Yeah.
Well, did you notice like when the non-smoking light would come on and put on your seatbelt? And the Spanish,
it's
El Cito no Belto or something like that. It wasn't a real interpretation. Sit down, El Stupido. It was stupid stuff like that.
No hablo retardo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they did not really translate nothing.
Well, and the whole while they were still in the airport, all the people offering, like the religious people offering them
like
items and stuff. And the funny thing is that stuff really happened back then. Like you'd have all kinds of people offering you stuff and
asking for money,
left and right. I mean, things are different now. You can't do nothing in an airport anymore.
But how'd you like when Robert Stack comes through there, dude?
We'll get there. Because so much was going on in this first scene.
Oh, what about when he did you catch when he was on the phone with the Mayo Clinic and they were talking about the heart transplant and they had the heart in a bowl on the desk. It was bouncing up and down. We got our heart right here, ready to go.
Okay, did you catch? Okay, so when the pilots are in the cockpit and they're getting everything ready, he opens his window and gives him that guy his credit card and he swipes it. Dougie, that's how you had to do
that. Was an actual credit card swiper.
Yeah.
Did you notice? Did you recognize the guy that was checking under the hood of the airplane? It was JJ from Good Times.
Was it?
Yes. He lifted the hood and was checking the oil and everything, and they were watching it through the window, and he was trying to slam the hood down, and he fell off the airplane. Dude.
Oh. Okay, so I found that hilarious. Him checking the oil and
it
was like
I was like, "Hey, it's dynamite!" Yeah, it was JJ.
So also in this first scene, we see Ted and Elaine meet each other in that bar, nightclub, whatever you want to call it.
Boy.
The seediest bar.
The first scene, you see the two little Girl Scouts.
Oh my! Well,
they get in a fight.
It wasn't exactly little.
Well, Girl Scouts. I don't know why I said little Girl Scouts. Girl Scouts.
And it's all these other tough
fighting.
dudes. Yeah, it's always it's like it's so you could just hear the word fight in the air. And only two people fighting was the two Girl Scouts. And they're trying to kill each other.
And they don't stop throughout the entire scene. They're sitting there. Even when Ted and Elaine start dancing and everything, they're just in the background punching each other in the face.
And at the very end of the scene, you see one of them finally get knocked down on the dance floor. It's like it's finally over.
Well, so the dance scene, was the Bee Gees.
Yeah,
but they actually had they got the song from the Bee Gees, but they had to ask permission to be able to. If you notice, it's sped up.
Yeah,
it goes really fast, but they had to get the permission of them to do it.
And he takes off. He's wearing his
whole entire suit under his uniform.
Well, his uniform was like an officer and a gentleman.
Yeah.
All the white, and then he pulls it off.
Rips it off.
He's got the John Travolta
Saturday Night
black
Fever.
vest. Yes.
Well, did you notice the guy that was dancing with Elaine?
Oh my!
And then he gets stabbed in the back, and he's like,
and she thinks it's a dance move. She's trying to copy him. He's like, take the knife out. Oh, jeez.
Falls over.
Oh man, that scene is so hilarious.
And that's where he gets the cue that it was meant to happen, because as soon as the guy that got stabbed falls over, he takes his shirt off. He's like,
fate was on my side, and then they was dancing.
Okay, you guys got anything else for scene one? I think we can move on.
No,
there was so much that happened in scene one. I can't think of
the military flashbacks.
Yeah,
were like from World War I. It was so stupid.
And it was like a 1.5 second clip of a plane just crashing into the ocean. That was it.
Yeah. And then was the Peace Corps montage in this too?
No, not yet. It's when he's telling his story to all those people.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Actually, now that I think about it, so was that this? No, that's the next scene. Okay. We'll get there.
Okay.
Let's move on to scene 2. Elaine observes Ted recounting his story to different passengers. A flashback shows them at the beach covered in seaweed. Elaine invites a boy to the cockpit, and we all know that infamous scene. Ted's flashback takes him back to the hospital after the war, where he grapples with the guilt for his men's loss. Another flashback reveals his struggle with I know you guys can't see this, but drinking.
He's got a drinking problem.
Got a drinking problem.
Poor guy.
As passengers fall ill, Elaine frantically searches for a doctor, finding Dr. Rumack. Captain Over informs Dr. Rumack that they can't land for several more hours due to the weather. 2 of the pilots succumb to illness. Okay, so the part I was talking about was the drinking scene, or because they're in like the Peace Corps or whatever it is, and they're trying to teach the natives. Well, he's trying to teach the natives how to play basketball.
Okay, that you couldn't do that today, but he's sitting there and he's surrounded by all the. I guess it seems like they're in like Zimbabwe or somewhere
like
in
in
Africa.
Africa.
I'm teaching them the basics.
And he's teaching them the basics of basketball.
Hands them,
and he hands him the ball, and everybody starts dunking.
Underleg dunk.
Yeah.
Well, and
he's like, thanks to my fabulous coaching skills.
Did you notice Elaine was like showing the wives about Tupperware?
Oh my God. Yeah. She was having a Tupperware party.
While there's an elephant right behind him. She's having
a Tupperware party, and he's like, hey, maybe we come back. I'll teach him baseball. Yes.
Well, and then this is where he gets his drinking problem, and he always
just throws it in his face.
Yeah, it's like puts it. He can't hit his mouth. He puts it in his eye
every time.
And that's when he sits down next to the old lady, and she's like, "Do you have some light reading?" They get another joke in there too. He's like, "Oh, how about this pamphlet of Jewish pro athletes?"
Yeah, it's just a little
tiny piece of paper. Yeah. And then he starts talking. You see her face. She's like, ugh.
And then after you get through his cut scene, it pans back over and she hung herself.
Yeah, all you see is her feet. I mean, she's an airplane.
And that I'll go ahead and say it, but that's an ongoing joke. You know, the next one is he's teaching that Asian guy, or he's like a Japanese guy or whatever he is. Or not teaching him.
Yeah,
he's like telling another story, a flashback, and he winds up.
He stabs himself with.
Oh yeah, that's the bad guy from.
I always call it Harry Carey, but that's.
He was in. Oh man, he's been in so many.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
What's the name of that little sword?
When he's missing in action, it's
he's
not
been
a
in a lot of
katana.
stuff.
It's like a.
It's a mini sword.
It's a mini katana they used to.
They stick it in their side, then bow down and get their head cut off.
Yeah. It's
well, what they do is they stick it in their stomach and slide it to the side and then push it down.
Yeah.
And that way they get all their guts and everything.
You ain't living from that. And then the sword cutting your head off is the mercy part.
Yeah. But the whole point of it is like everybody he's telling his story to is killing themselves, except for the final guy.
Yeah, he's just wandering all over the plane, killing all these people.
The final guy he's about to set himself on fire. He pours gas on himself.
Does he just magically have like one of those like 80s tubs of gasoline?
You could take anything on an airplane back then.
You could do
anything. Pulls it out of his inventory and dumps it on himself.
Oh yeah, you could probably take that.
He pulls out that book of matches.
And then that's when they're like, oh, we need you to come into the cockpit.
And the guy looks at him like,
yes,
please.
He still blows himself up.
This plane.
Okay, so Ted, they do that flashback of Ted when he's in the hospital after the war, and he's painting that guy.
Oh, dude,
his leg
behind his thing, holding a baby.
Take a break.
He's holding a baby.
Yeah, go ahead, take a photo.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then his captain's dressed up as a woman, screaming, dancing around.
Well, she was
the actual singer back in.
Yeah, I can't.
Ethel Merman.
Ethel Merman. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, she's big on TV, and she jumped out.
He's got a severe case of shell shock.
Well, Lieutenant Zip died this morning. Oh yeah.
Well, and then we get the infamous scene of them Elaine taking the boy to the cockpit.
Oh.
And
was his name Tommy? Was it Tommy?
I think it was Tommy. But
hey, Tommy, come on up here.
Well, and then first he rips what's his name? What's the basketball player?
Oh, Kareem.
Kareem's just like rips him a new one.
His real name's Roger McDowell, McDonough or something like that.
Points at his name tag.
Yeah,
he's like, no. My father said, I don't even remember what his father said.
My father said you get lazy and you quit running at the half.
And he grabs the boy by the collar.
Listen, kid.
Yeah. Oh man, and then we get that line.
You ever seen a grown man naked? Come on, you can hang out in here. Come on.
That's another.
You ever been to a Turkish bath?
That's another kind of ongoing joke. I think he does it once or twice more.
Yeah, the kid comes back. He's like,
Yeah.
Do you like gladiator movies?
Oh,
it's just the way he says it. He just says it. And he's like, oh man.
Well, there's another joke in there. Doug, you might know this reference more than I would. I don't know the reference, I guess. It's the cold coffee thing where the wife is like, huh.
Oh my God. It's
a coffee commercial,
It's
right?
a coffee commercial. I'm pretty sure it was a Sanka instant coffee commercial, and she's making coffee, and he's like, no, he never
has a second cup of coffee.
Second cup at home. This dude's like puking his brains out, and he's like, he never throws up.
He never throws up.
You got the little throw-in scene where the little boy walks up with 2 cups of coffee, and he's like, "Hey, I have a cup of coffee. I thought you'd like one." She's like, "Thank you." And he asked her if she wants cream, and she's like, "I take it black, like my men."
She's only like 10. Yeah. There was so many little one-liners. It's
so many.
You couldn't write them all down. It's crazy.
So passengers are starting to fall ill, and they don't know why, so they go find a doctor. And this is where we get introduced to Dr. Rumack, which is Leslie Nielsen. And if you notice when he gets introduced, he's wearing his
stethoscope.
Yeah.
Are you a doctor?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
And what's with the first chick? She's spitting these eggs out, just like random.
I don't know. I don't.
What kind of fish did she eat?
If it was that might have been a reference to something.
Yeah.
And he slowly grabs them out of her mouth by one.
Did you catch how he was doing it though? It was
it was sleight of hand. Yeah,
and he was
sliding them out.
So I guess she had like something white in her mouth to represent the egg, and
he broke one and a bird flew off.
Where'd it go? Never see it again.
No.
And then he goes up to the stewardess. I need to go to the cockpit right now. She's like, what's that? Oh, it's this little room up here at the front of the airplane.
That was another ongoing joke of him explaining something that's so obvious.
Stupid.
Oh man.
Okay, so the first co-pilot gets sick. It's the blonde one sitting. He's the
Vector. It's a Vector. It's Victor.
The dude doing the communication.
Victor.
Stuff.
Well, that was another joke they did. The Vector over, huh?
Roger. Oh yeah, when they were trying to take off, Roger. Yeah. Oh what? Oh, we kind of glanced over the one. They had the one guy was saying goodbye to the girl, the military guy, out of the with the airplane door open. And they're going down the runway. He's still yelling, "I love you."
And she runs into those.
Well, and they had
into the pole down.
Well, and they had that guy from the train, or not conductor, but he had the watch. All aboard!
Hey, you better get on board, son. And they're like taking off. Jeez.
Oh man, there's too much. There's just too much in this movie.
That's why it's so, because that's one of the movies you can watch over and over and over, and you'll get like 10 other jokes you didn't see the first time.
So we got the first one. What you said, it was Victor.
Yeah, Victor. What's our Vector, Victor?
He got sick, and then slowly the other pilot starts getting sick, and that's when they pull him up.
Okay,
and he's
also, they take both of them to the back of the airplane.
Yeah, did you notice? And the captain's like, "Oh, everything's fine," and they're dragging the pilots
people to the back of the
airplane.
Oh god. Well, and that's when he had it. You said it was the Lakers jersey, right?
Yeah, he had his Lakers shorts on, his jock strap, his goggles. I mean, it was classic.
So that he grabs Leslie Nielsen grabs the captain, and he's talking about, what's going on, and he's like, so when can you give me an estimate of when we can land? He's like, I
don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
He's like, we can't. He said not for another several hours. And he's like, why can't you just tell me now? It's just like it's an
okay. 2 hours. What do you mean? You're going to tell me from 2 hours, or can we land in 2 hours? It's all that matter of fact stuff. You're like, it's like you said, that deadpan stuff.
Yeah, there's so much of it in this movie.
And then after 2 of the pilots are passed out, he's telling people, "Oh, look on the left, you'll see the Grand Canyon." They're flying at night, dude.
Shortly, we'll be passing over the Grand Canyon. If you look out your left window.
There's so much.
And that ain't that when the doctor and the stewardess comes back into the cockpit and they're explaining how the sickness works. And
No,
the captain,
not yet.
is that not?
No, that's in the next scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He looks over at his plate.
Yeah.
It's like a complete fish bone. I mean, head to tail. Dude, sucked
Complete
everything out.
skeleton.
Yeah.
You guys want to move on to scene 3?
Yeah, that's
There's so much in every scene.
we're missing stuff. Yeah.
I just can't. I actually sat there and thought about writing just as much as I could possibly see, but it would have been pages and pages of stuff. Because I even looked up online just trying to find what's the best jokes, and it was just hundreds and hundreds of jokes in this movie. Okay, so let's move on to scene 3. Elaine and the stewardess discover that the sick passengers who ate fish, causing everyone to fall ill. Captain Over also ate fish and fell ill. Elaine activates the automatic pilot. Steve McCroskey, the Chicago airport head, tries to find someone and a place to land the plane. Elaine informs the passengers and asks if anyone can fly a plane, causing chaos. Captain Rex Kramer, the only one who can save the plane, arrives at the airport and helps convince Ted that he can land it. Ted takes control. Okay,
Dude.
So much.
This is where you get the scene where after she activates the automatic pilot, it's an inflatable balloon that blows up and has its hands on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And then it starts to deflate.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's sitting there flying. Well, she's reading the gauges to
Steve.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah.
And he's the one that tells her, he's like, don't worry. There's a inflatable
tube just under the belt buckle.
Yeah, you just have to blow on it.
Well, that's when Leslie Nielsen or the doctor walks in and he's like,
he backs out.
Yeah, backs out. You just see her and the balloon keeps huffing in and out.
and then afterwards, it cuts back after it goes with Leslie for a second. It cuts back and they're both in there smoking cigarettes.
The blow-up dummy's got a cigarette and a smile on his face. They keep changing the expression of the autopilot.
Well, just his head moves too.
Yeah, his head would turn.
Yeah.
Oh.
And what's going on too? I don't think we skipped over that, but there's one part where Leslie's examining somebody, but he's got a girl on a table.
Oh, he's giving a pap smear. Did you see that? It's when they first.
What the heck's going on?
It's the turbulence, and you see the painted toenails in the stirrups, and he's back there. What is going on up there? This is and that's when you get the other scene when they start hitting the turbulence. You know, First you see this bowl of Jell-O wiggling, blah, and then it pans over to a girl in this tight white sweater, and everything she's got shaking. And then next thing you know, a naked girl just walks by the camera. It's like, what is going on here?
It's not even 5 seconds it happens, but it's just okay.
All right, then. That wasn't on the TV edit version.
The whole luxury shower in the bag.
I forgot to mention this. The whole the stewardess, not Elaine, but the other stewardess wants to. So that there's that sick girl.
Oh my gosh!
She grabs the guitar from the nun. And wants to play her a song. And she's like, yeah, that sounds great. And she starts playing that song. Well, she knocks her IV out of her.
Well, also, as she's carrying that guitar up there, she knocks everybody
She's dragging, hitting everybody in the back of the head with it.
And all you hear is, ow, oh, ow.
Well, okay, let me go back. Let me tell you about this one joke. I think it was while everybody was boarding. Everybody was reading a bunch of... Oh, no, it was when Elaine was passing out magazines.
Oh, my gosh, I know what you're getting ready to say.
The little boy is reading Nun Life.
Nun Life. And the nun is reading Boy's Life.
Boy's Life, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so when we meet Steve, the one at the airport that's in charge, there's so many jokes in the background that it's just too much.
In the control tower?
Yes,
Dude.
It's so much. Okay, so Doug, I was telling you about the guy that's acting just crazy in the background.
Oh, yeah.
So
let me see that weather report.
Yeah.
Here, what can you make of this? Oh, I can make a hat, and I can make an airplane.
You go here, and they're Siamese
twins.
Yeah.
You see that? They're trying to pull away from each other.
Okay, so Doug, what I was telling you about that guy, you were mentioning that he might be possibly a little gay, but I see more him of being Ryan Reynolds. Like, I feel like if they were
breaking the fourth wall type of thing.
Yes, I feel. Well, it's not even necessarily that, but I just feel like if they were going to make this today, Ryan Reynolds would be perfect in that part. He's just stupid.
Well,
he's just silly.
After
I
watch it, it's almost like it's total Broadway.
Yeah,
it's Broadway acting.
Yeah,
it was just
it's brilliant. But it was just
he unplugs the runway lights.
Yeah, he's like
he's like, oh, I'm just kidding. He sticks it back in.
I forgot about that.
So much,
dude.
Okay, so this is where Elaine and the doctor are in the cockpit, and she's asking about what's the symptoms of eating fish, and that's when he's telling the symptoms, and then as he's telling them,
starts with a mild sweat.
The captain is slowly getting all the symptoms as he's telling them.
It's everybody that ate the fish, and he looks down at his plate sitting beside him. There's a fish bone.
Starts with a mild sweat. Then you get a slight fever. Then you get a rash that has an uncontrollable itch. And then your insides turn to jello.
and then you have what did he say? It was like your nervous system. You go numb. You can't feel anything.
And he collapses.
He throws up too, or he spits up.
Yeah. She says drool. Uncontrolled drooling. Yeah, he spits out a lot of drool. I don't know what that was.
That was not drool. It was a whole stream of white just coming out of his mouth.
There's no telling what
they probably just gave him like some soup.
It came from
clam chowder or something.
It came from the autopilot.
Well, that's when. No, that's Dougie. A different one.
Man.
Yeah, he had to blow him up one more time.
Too much.
Whoa.
Anyways. Man.
So now there's zero pots, and that's when Elaine, they get him out, and they're like, "Oh, everything's fine."
Then that's when he's like, "Activate the autopilot," as they're dragging him out.
Yeah, and that's when he turns it on, and he pops up and grabs her.
And yes, they just I think she gets on the intercom, says everything is fine, and then she says,
by the way,
can anyone fly a plane? And that's just when all hell breaks loose.
Dude, one of my favorite scenes is that one chick. She's going crazy, and Leslie Nielsen's like slapping her. You gotta control yourself.
It's everybody. They're lining up.
Yeah,
and it progressively gets worse.
The stewardess comes up to her and is like, "No, you look at the other people. I'll take care of this." And then they start slapping her.
Okay, so that scene, the first guy slaps her, and then Leslie Nielsen comes up and tries to calm her down, slaps her. The second slap was improvised. That was not in the script.
Oh, she didn't know it was going to happen?
She didn't know it was going to happen. That's why it's the look on her face like, yeah, well, totally improvised.
If you keep watching as it goes down the line, it goes from like a wooden club to a metal bat to
and he's got a monkey wrench, and then, that just keeps, everybody's getting ready to take some frustration.
And the chick at the end has a pistol.
You can carry anything on an airplane back then.
I think, so... The other stewardess, they're in the back there, and the doctor's talking to her, and she's like, "I'm only 26 and something about not married, no kids or anything, and I'd hate to see what happened." And then I think somebody else walks up and is talking to the doctor, and she's like, "Oh, thank God I'm married and have kids." The other steward just freaks out. She's falling.
Like, oh, my life.
I don't know if you caught this either, but there's a couple times in this movie where there's like no sense of gravity. Like people, their heads will come out from the top.
Yeah.
It's when that stewardess first starts singing that song, and you see one guy's head like lower down from the top of the airplane to watch, because everybody's like, "Oh, this is awesome."
So, and also when they go to the cockpit, the two pilots are going, and then the back one there, the other pilot's just like. To the camera.
Yeah, like 2 seconds later, he turns around and smiles. Oh, Victor. He's like,
okay. So this is where.
Who was that actress that was playing the sick girl? I know she had a career later on. I recognize her face. Seems like I remember her from a Friday the 13th movie.
I don't know, because if I didn't notice if she did anything else, I don't know. Okay, so this is where we get introduced to Captain Rex Kramer at his house. That guy from the airport comes over to get him.
Lab.
Well, and the dog just keeps on attacking that guy.
His wife keeps telling it to stop, and she just, as soon as the pilot comes out, they start talking, and he's in the background with the dog on top of him, just like tearing him a new one.
Okay, so when he comes down the stairs, I don't know if those stairs were real, because it looks like it was just that cubby.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't actually look like he was coming downstairs, like he was standing there the whole time.
Oh, that was just like some crazy little set. It was definitely, they didn't build very much. It's like, what I tell these crazy, a bunch of them are incompetent.
Well, and then when he's ready to go, she's talking to him, and he's talking, and then he walks through the mirror.
Yeah, yeah. You think he's fixing his tie in the mirror, but he's actually watching his dog kill this guy. He's like, "You ready? Let's go."
Well, then you see them both in the car driving.
Oh my! It's like the cheesiest green scheme. Yes, and they did it on purpose.
Oh, totally on purpose. Yes.
And then the captain's like talking about he knows the guy that got the flight, but he thought he's talking about the guy he just hit with his car.
Well, yeah, he just hit a guy on a bicycle.
Oh, I know that guy. He's an asshole. What? You know him? It's like, oh, not that guy.
Oh, let's go.
And then that's when you get to see when he's going through the airport. He shows up at the airport, and all these like Jehovah Witnesses, everyone's coming to him. Can we get a?
He's beating up everybody.
I mean, he's going John Wick on these people. He's beating the crap out of them. Bam, bam, bam.
You know, I get a feeling the people in the background were actually people at the airport
that didn't know what was going on.
They were just. Well, I think they probably know what was going on, but I think they were just standing there watching the whole thing because.
Oh yeah, they were just extras.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, come stand at this location.
Okay, so this is where. Who is it? It's the other stewardess tells Ted that we need help in the cockpit.
Yeah.
And that's when he finds out there's no pilots.
He comes up here, I can't fly this thing. And he's looking at the controls. Did you know they did that with the controls? It starts panning, but it pans for like 2 minutes.
It keeps on going.
Keeps on going. Just controls forever.
Okay, so he decides to take control. And then that's when Rex gets on the radio with him.
Oh,
and the whole time
he's talking.
He says he can't land this plane. He's an idiot or whatever he says. He's just bad mouthing. Ted's just like Ted and Elaine just look at each other.
What about when Elaine? She's working. She totally did the Galaxy Quest talking to the computer.
Yes.
She's like, good thing he don't know how much I hate his guts.
Good thing
she
hates his guts.
And she relays it on the radio. And they look at each other. Oh. And that's when you get the first time when you got the guy that's over the tower. He's like, I picked a heck of a day to quit taking barbiturates.
Oh, and there's so many. I think the first one's like
barbiturates,
smoking,
quit drinking, quit smoking. And the last one was the glue.
Sniffing glue.
And that's when they show him and his hair's standing straight up and he's upside down. Smiling. That was awesome. It looked like model glue too. He sniffs it.
It's a great day to quit sniffing glue.
I don't know what else for this scene because there's so much. The one thing I can think of that was in, I think it was in this scene or maybe it was in the last scene, but I don't completely understand it. Is it's at the airport, and the two guys are talking. Well, all of a sudden you see a spear hit the wall behind them, and then a watermelon drops on the desk.
Yeah, I didn't get that comedy. They're talking, somebody's like back there and randomly drops a watermelon.
It's got to be a reference to something.
It's about like when he says the shit's really going to hit the fan, and somebody really throws a pile of crap into the fan.
There's too much. I don't know. You guys got anything else for this scene? You want to move on? Or?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's go to final scene. All right. There's so much. Okay. No. I think that's in this scene, but I'll go ahead and say it. When they call Captain Over's wife, and she's laying in the bed, and then you look over and there's a horse laying in the bed.
Oh.
I don't know how they got a horse
to actually lay
in the bed. She's like, you can just see yourself out.
And they purposely kept her side of the bed blacked out till she turned her light on. And you see the picture of the captain's on on the horse's side of the bed. I'm like, okay.
There's so much in this movie. I can't even think of everything that's in this movie because there's just so much.
You can think about this movie for a few days and dwell on it. Like, man, I forgot about that.
Well, and another just stupid scene. It's like when Steve, the head of the airport, he finds out there's a problem with the plane, and he walks up to his desk and just poses. And
the picture of
him standing there posing behind him too. Okay, let's just move on. So, final scene. Running out of time, everyone deteriorates. Ted insists he can fly the plane. Despite radar visibility, the newspaper predicts a crash. An engine fails, and Ted doubts himself, leaving the cockpit. Dr. Rumack convinces Ted to land. Despite the thick fog, Ted insists he can. The Chicago airport team prepares. Ted lands the plane, saving everyone. He and Elaine kiss as the inflatable autopilot takes off.
Dude.
That was his last straw. He's like, man, you just blew me, and now you're going to kiss this other dude behind my back.
Kissing this other guy right in front of me?
Blows up.
Well,
dare you.
He got a new one. He got the new inflatable girlfriend.
So
by the time he actually gets to where he's about to land this plane has lost so much altitude that it should have already crashed because it goes into a nosedive like 5 times.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
definitely. Well, this is where we get them going into the what do you call it? Like the radar room or whatever. It's the where they.
Oh yeah, they're watching, and you look at it's these big domes, and at the fourth one back, somebody's pulling their laundry out of one. It's like the front of a washing machine.
Oh man.
Well, and you see somebody in the background. Or another one. They show another one. Them playing like Pong or something. They're playing.
Oh yeah, they were. They were playing something on it. Well,
then this is where we get all the news reporters, and they immediately. They're like, all right, let's take some pictures, and they go to the wall.
They take pictures off the wall. And
they immediately say, the plane's gonna crash, and this is when they go to the different news reporters across the country.
All the country. It goes to the Japanese one. Oh yeah, plane crash or something like that. I mean, they make fun of all these different people's accents. Oh, and what'd you think of the one where the dude was like playing the drum with it, and they just hand him a different set of sticks?
Yeah,
he's got the heavier
it's a
sticks.
Different sound.
Yeah, it's like ding, 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 ding. He's like all serious playing
it. So everybody just keeps on getting sicker and sicker, and people throwing up, and I think when because it's when the engine one of the engine blows, that's when he's like, all right, I can't fly this. And so that's when he gets up and
he rips the autopilot out and throws it in the seat, and it just takes over. Yeah.
That autopilot needs an award, man.
Dude.
I was trying to think of what he was trying to convince Ted that he could land the plane, but he says something so ridiculous, and I can't even remember what he says to try to convince him. But
there's too many.
I don't know.
There's too many lines, dude.
I don't know.
And then a whole thing when he's telling him, he's going through the motions on how just pull the red handle. Just pull and at the last resort, hit the 4 switches above the autopilot, and it's totally random. And then when they're finally going to land, that's when the guy unplugs the runway lights.
Yes.
And they first see it, like, I see it. And then they show his face. Oh, I'm just kidding. And he sticks them back in.
Well, and did you notice when they were getting the airstrip prepared, all the different types of trucks that were going on to the airstrip? There was, the fire truck, but then there was like a beer truck. There was a water truck.
Wasn't there like an ice cream truck?
Ice cream truck.
Yeah.
It was just all kinds of different trucks.
And they're all sitting there, and they got the fire dog, what is it? A Dalmatian.
Dalmatian.
Yeah.
This is what he says.
What's he say?
Flying a plane is no different than riding a bicycle, just a lot harder to put the baseball cards in the spokes.
There you go. A little harder to put the baseball cards in there. So he lands.
So he lands.
Finally lands and rips the another joke
Landing
they
gear.
did at the very end of it. They're landing, and then it shows the airport. Okay, the plane is landing at gate 9.
Gate
8. Or it goes up. Gate 10. And all the people
Gate
are
11.
11, 12.
12.
They're all trying to catch the gate. Everybody takes off running. Like
Gate 15.
They're going to get on this. They're going to get back on this plane.
Gate 30.
Oh, good. Yeah, so he rips all that stuff, the landing gear off and everything, and they skid, but they land.
Yeah.
Well, and then as they're letting the passengers out with that inflatable like slide, you know, because that's what planes really have. The stewardess is like, "Thank you for flying with whatever it was called, Trans America. That's what it was called. Thank you for flying Trans America. Thank you for." She's thanking everybody. And did you notice? Okay, so when they unloaded the girl that was supposed to get the heart transplant, they put her in the ambulance. And then the ambulance takes off and it crashes. Did you guys hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, you hear.
She wasn't getting that hard anyway.
No.
That thing jumped off a doctor's desk. He ain't getting that thing.
Oh. Well, okay, so this is, when they land, what is his name? Kramer. He continues to talk on the intercom.
Oh, yeah, they've already took the headphones off,
He's
and they're
gone.
like out of the plane.
He's
they're gone. And you still hear the radio going, "Yeah, done a real good job, Sucker."
Just keeps on going.
Yeah.
So Ted and Elaine, they kiss on the runway, but then all of a sudden the autopilot kicks in, inflates his own wife or girlfriend, whatever, and that's
takes off.
Takes off the plane.
That's when they play the happy ending music, the plane.
Oh, so in that scene when the plane is attempting to land, Kramer and all of them are all standing there, and then also Captain Over's wife is like rubbing Rex's shoulder.
Oh yeah, did you notice that? She's rubbing his
and
chest.
He stops and looks
it
at her.
takes him a minute, and he kind of looks down at her. Okay.
She's like, oh, sorry.
What about when the stewardess comes back? Okay, everybody get in your crash position. And they all pose. Ah!
Oh man.
And it's them two guys. It's them two dudes. I recognize both of them. The guys that were the Buddhas or whatever.
Whatever. I especially recognize one of them. He's been in
all over.
things.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
This movie is like perfect on my kind of comedy.
It's just,
Dude, yeah.
so much.
Just stupid comedy.
It's hilarious.
But you got to think, if it wasn't for this movie, there'd be no Naked Gun. There'd be no parody movies.
No.
I mean, this was the beginning of it all. And it's just great.
This is like Blazing Saddles territory. I mean,
they probably borrowed from it too. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they knew Mel Brooks or anything.
the whole thing with the jive talking, that was just. You better not give me no slack, Jack. He'll slap you on the east side. I mean, they just who comes up with that writing just to randomly throw these words together? And them guys played it off like completely on. What? What's she saying?
They were shocked she could speak that. Well, it was the Abram, Zuck, and the Zuckers.
Yeah,
They came up with all this stuff. I can't really think of. There's just so much. I can't really think of much else. You guys got anything else for the final scene? You want to move on?
dude,
or
that was.
You want to close out?
Yeah, close out.
Okay.
That was awesome.
All right. All right, so I am going to read, which I have already ruined it, our famous category of...
Did not know that.
Okay. The I gotta get out of here scene where a stewardess tries to calm down a hysterical passenger was actually improvised on the spot. The original scene, based on a scene from 0 Hour, 1957, only called for the stewardess to try to calm her, and then another passenger tells the stewardess that he will handle this and then slaps her, with the joke ending there. Lee Bryant, playing the hysterical woman, suggested to the directors that the gag should extend to bring in another annoyed passenger, forming a slap line. Although they liked the idea, they were hesitant to do it, fearing Bryant might get hurt. However, they agreed to try it and even added in props: boxing gloves, tire iron, revolver, etc. for the passengers. After briefly rehearsing it, they kept it in the movie after one take. According to Bryant, Leslie Nielsen's second slap was not rehearsed or expected, and he really hit her, though not intentionally.
I didn't even catch that, actually. The dude that's wearing the boxing gloves,
Yeah.
Oh,
he looks like Apollo Creed.
You made me think of that when you talk about I gotta get out of here scene. Somebody done that in the control tower. You remember? Got one of the control guys jumped out of a window and through the glass.
It was Steve, the main guy controlling everything. It was Steve. He was like, I gotta get out, because he was high out of his mind
Off that glue sniffing.
It was because he thought the plane was coming towards him.
Oh, like coming straight toward him.
Coming straight toward us. He jumps out the window.
Which is hilarious because it really is coming straight toward the tower. And Robert Stackhouse they just look at each other like, what's wrong with that dude?
All right.
Did not know that.
Did not know that. All right. All right. So let's do Doug. Let's start with you.
All right.
What's your number one quote?
Oh, man. Talk about an endless supply.
Yeah.
Number one quote. It'd have to be, I picked a heck of a day to quit sniffing glue. I still say that. Picked a heck of a day to quit sniffing glue, or just whatever. You can put anything in there. Picked a heck of a day to quit doing this or that.
Dougie?
All right. Mine was no thank you. I take it black like my men. And the reason I chose that one, there's a lot of very, very good one-liners in this movie that you could say over and over and over. But when I saw this, I just almost passed out from laughing.
You had no idea it come from this movie.
No, I didn't. I saw it on TikTok, but I had no idea that this is what it was from. And it made it even more funny because it just comes out of nowhere.
And when we talk about real comedy, and that's what this is.
Yeah. It's like, it's nothing but deadpan. It's all straight man, serious comedy. They always say just something stupid, but they say it so seriously. Like they're just, yeah.
Well, I couldn't agree more. I mean, it makes it super funny, hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. We didn't even mention the most famous quote out of this entire movie is the "Don't call me Shirley" line.
Oh yeah.
That's literally the most famous line of this time. And that's the line I'm gonna go with because it's just it goes back to Leslie Nielsen just being, like I said, a straight man, just deadpan. And it's so funny. You can't be how does it go? It's surely you can't be serious.
He's like, I am serious.
And don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley.
Dougie, what's your best part of the movie for you?
When Elaine blows the autopilot. And then they smoke afterwards. Oh, amazing.
Doug, what about you?
Oh, my favorite part of the movie. Dang. I'd have to say I laughed out loud the most when he was teaching them guys how to play basketball. And he just hand them the ball and they just take off. I mean, it was hilarious.
They already had a basketball net too. It's just made out of like what is it, like dried out hay or something?
It was like hay or something. See, this one's tough for me because there's so many good ones. I don't know. I'm gonna give an honorable mention. The horse scene in the bed. I laughed out loud at that scene. Actually, I'm gonna give another honorable mention. Is the watermelon. It just came out of nowhere, and I just busted out laughing at that. I don't know where it comes from, if it comes from anything, but I was dying laughing when that happened.
Definitely has to be a reference. It might have been a Gallagher reference because he was big back then.
Maybe. But I'm gonna go with the slapping scene.
I mean, the other one that was just I guess if he's gonna do an honorable mention, the one where after he sniffs the glue and he's upside down,
yes,
and his hair spiked straight up, and just the look on his face,
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, I'm going with the slapping scene. The in particular the Leslie Nielsen part where he's like, calm down. He slaps her, but then they're like, oh, excuse me, doctor, let me try, and then he slaps her again. I'm gonna go with that part.
I looked it up. It said the watermelon is not a reference to anything. It was just in there just to be in there.
Somebody just in the back just threw a watermelon.
It just drops.
Full size watermelon.
Full size. Bam. It just drops. Well, it drops on a desk just out of the sky.
And if they didn't know about it, they just did not react to it. I don't know if they was trying to scare them.
Well, they weren't even telling jokes. They were being dead serious too.
Yeah.
And it just plop. It's out of nowhere.
Shit's gonna hit the fan.
That's another one. So I'm gonna go with my favorite character. I'm gonna go with Leslie Nielsen. What is it, Dr. Dumac or whatever? Rumac. That's who my favorite character is. Doug, what about favorite character for you?
Oh, my favorite character is I can't think of his name. Where he was talking about sniffing glue.
Steve.
Steve.
Yeah,
he's my favorite character.
Yeah. Dougie, what about favorite character for you?
The captain. What's his name?
Captain Over.
Yeah.
Captain Over.
You ever seen a grown man naked? I think that
actually sounds like him too.
Yeah, he's got it down.
Well, the thing is, you have to say it like that.
Yeah.
Honorable mention though on favorite character is Ted Stryker.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he is supposed to be the main character, but I feel like he's not the main character.
No,
he's kind of just there.
And the funny thing is, he didn't really do too much after this. He's done a lot of other comedies and some serious stuff, but he really didn't do too much after this because I was looking and there just wasn't much. He just did a lot of TV and stuff, but he's great though. All right, so Doug, let's start with you. Let's give your final score, or I'm sorry, your score and your final thoughts, or final thoughts and score.
Final thoughts. This movie is so. It's just classic, and it's always going to be funny. Funny is just funny, and it proves that. If any movie proves that, this movie proves that you can be funny and not hurt anybody. You know,
right?
This is the kind of films we need today.
Yeah.
I would say I give this a solid 4.5 out of 5.
4.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Dougie, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with his statement, and this is definitely something. If I wanted to get a kick out of something, I'd watch this. It's good.
So you'd watch it again?
Yeah.
You have to get some of your friends together and watch it with them.
Well, I have friends who actually would think this is funny because but yeah, it's just funny, hilarious, good time. I'm gonna give it a 4.25.
4.25. Okay. So I've watched this movie my entire life. It's been actually a slight minute since I had actually seen it last. So it was kind of almost, I did remember a lot of it, but it was kind of almost watching it for like the first time because I was just
And you still saw
laughing.
new stuff.
And Doug, I told you this yesterday. There was, I didn't say what, but there was stuff that I did not know or I did not get when I was a kid.
Yeah.
There was just so many references and just so many jokes I just didn't get when I was a kid. But
Like, I didn't know what spanking material was when I saw this movie the first time when he was looking at all the magazines. And when he was in the airport, I didn't know what that was. But I looked at it now, I'm like, oh, man, they really did put that in there.
I think there was one that said it was like whacking material.
Oh, yeah.
Whacking material.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
whacking material.
well, okay. When you guys watched this, did subtitles come up when there was words?
Yeah, when the jive.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if that was just mine.
It totally popped up, especially when they was talking jive. They had to translate
Peanut
it.
butter, what to do? I'll have the fish.
But I've always loved this movie. I mean, it definitely has gotten better with age, and it's just a classic. I mean, if it wasn't for this movie, we probably wouldn't have the amazing comedies that we had 30 years on 30 years after that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, we just
But comedy movies today, honestly, they don't make me laugh like how you do when you're watching something like this. Today, all the movies that come out, they're supposed to be comedy or just like trash.
I feel like when they try to do spoof today, it's just not. I don't think it's funny.
And there was no political agenda at all.
No.
And nowadays they got to try to sneak a jab of some kind of political thing in there.
So.
And you also can't make fun of every single race in one movie today.
No.
All at the same time.
See, the only other set of movies that did that was Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks, Dougie, I don't know if you've seen any Mel Brooks movies. He's a director, but he's also an actor. He made movies like Spaceballs,
Blazing Saddles.
Spaceballs is
Holy Grail.
History of the World. No, not Holy Grail. That was British people.
Oh, that was
Monty Python.
Monty Python.
I've heard of Monty Python.
Yeah.
That's another one.
So I'm gonna say I've said this several times in the past, but I'm gonna say this is one of those another near perfect movies, and especially a comedy that's almost a perfect comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much in it. It's just too much. It's so overloaded that it's just brilliant.
We didn't talk about this, but also the runtime on this movie is like
perfect. Yeah. What is it?
88
Hour?
minutes.
What is that? Hour?
88 is an hour and 28 minutes. 88 minutes.
That's perfect. This doesn't need to be a 2-hour movie.
No.
So I'm going to give this movie a 4.75.
Nice.
So let me
Definitely, if any of you guys out there go watch this movie again, pay attention to the stuff in the background. Read the signs. Read the translations.
Yeah, don't read too much into what's going on in the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Look around.
pay attention, but also at the same time.
There's some crazy stuff happening in the background.
You could almost put this movie in slow motion just to try to figure out everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, like they do now, watching it like frame by frame.
Yeah, watch it at a 1.5 or a 0.5 speed. Or
Yeah.
whatever. So with our combined score, it came out to a 4.5.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's great. All right. You guys got anything else before we wrap it up?
No.
Nope.
All right. That's all for today's episode, folks. We hope you enjoyed our flight in the world of 1980s Airplane. Join us next time on Video Rental as we tackle another classic movie. Until then, stay cinematic and remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is your stewardess speaking. We regret any inconvenience the sudden cabinet movement might have caused. This is due to the periodic air pockets we have encountered. There's no reason to become alarmed, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your flight. By the way, is there anyone on board who can fly a plane?
Ah!